Hello, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if this is the first time that you are joining me. Today's video is probably going to be quite short because it's just a short response to a tag that was started by Avory Faucette over on her channel. I am going to link to the original video in the description box below, so I would encourage you to go and check that out and go and have a look at some other stuff on her channel as well. There's some really good stuff on there, and the tag is called Tarot and Memory. Basically, Avory asked us two questions. The first questions he asked was, do you remember your tarot readings after you do or receive them? When it comes to receiving tarot readings, I haven't been read for an awful lot. I've been read for by friends in practice, and I've been for a couple of readings through other people. When I've been read for by other people, I remember I went once for a reading with a woman, and she had this lovely little shed in the back that she'd done up with cushions and blankets and a really nice table all laid out, and it was a lovely heater going, and she recorded the reading and gave it to me on a tape, and it was all very lovely. And this was back in 2009, so it was, it was 10 years ago now, but even then I remember relieving the reading and being all very excited and getting home and looking at this tape and thinking, shit, who has a tape player these days? And I genuinely didn't have one, and I still don't have one. I've got no idea where the tape is, and I could not tell you for the life of me what she said in that reading. I can't remember. And then there was another one I had done at the back of a voodoo shop in New Orleans, and there's bits of that reading that stand out, but the overall reading, I definitely couldn't tell you now what it was. But again, that was a long time ago. That was back in 2012. Other than that, I tend to read for myself. With regards to remembering my own tarot readings, I am Virgo rising. I write the shit out of everything. I make notes. I have a bullet journal. I've talked about this in previous videos. I'll probably continue to talk about it in videos going forward. I write every single reading that I do down. And even sometimes I think, oh, I'll just draw the cards for fun and I won't bother writing them out. And then I draw the cards and I think, yeah, that's actually a really interesting reading. I'm going to have to write that down. And then I'll get out my book and I'll write it down. So I don't have to remember my own tarot readings, because every reading I've ever done for myself is written down in either here or my original bullet journals from last year, or before I started bullet journaling I had a tarot journal which is full of readings. Before that I used to write them out in a notepad and rip the notepad out and put it in a ring binder. So I've always been one of those people that writes everything down, absolutely everything. I'm such a geek about that kind of thing. So remembering them isn't really a problem for me. But the second questions he asked was, how do you apply them in your life or not? And I've been thinking about that question because it's a really interesting one. And quite often when I do a tarot reading, it's to get more information on a situation, or more information, maybe something to help me see what I'm not seeing in a particular situation. I always say that I don't read predictively, but I think if you're doing tarot readings where you've got future positions in them, like future outcomes or something that's going to happen in the future, or you're doing a past, present and future, by the very nature of having a future card in the reading, what you're doing is predictive. It has to be, right? There's no other way around that. It has to be like, if you continue down this path of where you already are, this is something that's going to happen in the future. This thing that's going to happen in the future is a predictive thing. It's by its very nature. I'm rambling. I don't even know where I'm going with that. But anyway, I think one thing that I'm really good at is every so often I'll dig out my books and I'll go through past readings and I'll reflect on them and I'll write notes about how they turned out, and I'll talk about what I thought was going to happen and what actually happened and how accurate I was, and all that kind of stuff. So as opposed to applying them, I kind of apply them retroactively in that respect, I guess, in that afterwards I always look back on them But at the time, I do have this terrible habit that I've become aware of by thinking about these questions, of doing the tarot reading, writing it all down, getting all the information, thinking, yeah, that's absolutely great, thanks for that, and then not really doing anything with it. So that's something that I definitely need to work on with my readings going forwards, is not just writing them all down so that I don't have to remember them, but actually actively applying the reading in some way to my life. Because now that I think about it, I think if I'm not doing that, which a lot of the time I'm not doing, what's the point in doing the reading in the first place, right? So those are my answers to those questions. Very brief, very rambly, as always. But I would love to know what your answers are. So either let me know in the description box below, or not in the description box. You can't do that. You can't put stuff in the description box. Only I can put stuff in the description box. Clearly, I mean in the comments below. I've just got home from work and I'm really tired today, and my brain has decided that it no longer wants to work properly. So yes. Obviously, I mean, leave me a comment in the comments below because that is something that you can do. Or do the video, do a VR for yourself if that's something that you do and it's something that you're interested in. It is a hashtag, as you'll see in my title, it is a hashtag tarot and memory. So tag it and let's talk about it. I'd love to know what other people are doing. Thanks very much as always for joining me, and I will see you all shortly for the next one. Take care everyone, and lots of love. Bye bye.